Yeah. No, I promise you we're not going to be singing. So. Coming in here today, I saw the sign and celebrating 24 years, and for us, that pretty much covers our whole entire life, or at least what we can remember. I remember back when I was just a little kid, asking my mom, because Dad always went off to work every day, and what does Daddy do for a living? And she'd say, well, he works for Channel 12, the TV station. I thought that was pretty cool, so I went over to the TV, I flipped on Channel 12, and looking at it, I'm like, where's Dad? She said, no, he doesn't actually appear on TV. I'm like, oh, well, does he work the camera? I said, no, he doesn't work the camera. Does he drive a truck or something? No, he doesn't drive a truck. Well, what does he do? She's like, well, when you're watching your favorite shows and you're really into them, and when the commercial break comes, yeah, your dad's responsible for that. From that point on, when kids would ask me what my dad did at Channel 12, I would kind of take a pause and say, yeah, cleans the bathrooms. Growing up in our household, kids usually get grounded for all sorts of crazy stuff that we do. But I think we might have been a little bit different. I think the time I got grounded the longest was when he caught me watching NBC's Must See TV. But seriously, I can't tell you how many times I met somebody and introduced myself, and they said, "Oh, Pete Monfrey," and they obviously knew my dad, and that's been pretty cool for me. But just as a role model, both work ethic and as a father, couldn't ask for anything better than what he's shown me. So, congratulations.
Like Pete Jr. said, the growing up, Channel 12 kind of was just a big part of our lives, and it infiltrated almost every aspect of it. In fact, when my dad would tuck us in at night, he would always say, "Good night, and better tomorrow." And we would all laugh at the morning sales meeting at that. In fact, people used to tell me I got good grades in school, but what they didn't realize is that my dad would bring Ken Wainscott and a camera crew to every parent-teacher conference. And if I still would get my grade raise, he'd send Colleen Henry to their house. My brothers didn't think this joke would go over well, but I'm trying anyway. I'm just thankful to be a twin because I'm told if we were triplets, we were going to be named live, local, and late breaking. That's funny. One of the things I'm most thankful for, as Pete said, a role model both professionally and in everyday life, but one thing that maybe we haven't ever really thanked you for was, I know you had opportunities to move, to progress your career and move maybe somewhere far away where we had to start our lives over. And you kept us here, and obviously that helped us grow as people, but also in our professional lives. And so we thank you for that, and we appreciate it. And so thanks for everything you've done for us in that regard too. So, and now someone just a little less good looking than me. The last time I almost saw Andy cry was when I beat him on one-on-one basketball. This is really embarrassing because I actually thought I was coming to Bob Wilkes' retirement party. All about Bob, so I'm just going to have to pretend that I was actually writing about my dad. Oh, there are a lot of people here, and I think that's a testament to the type of person my dad is. And like my brothers both mentioned, growing up, we really kind of grew up in the TV industry. And I remember being maybe 11 years old, and my dad would have each of us in a different room monitoring 4, 6, 58, and writing down the spots we would see. And I didn't really think too much of it. I think we were paid by the spot. And I knew I was catching on when I was probably in 9th grade, and I came running into the room to wake my dad up because he goes to bed at like 9. And I said, Dad, Fox has bookends in their second break in the 10th, and American looks like they got 3 spots, so I think they're climbing from the number 3 share to the number 2. And now I work in the TV industry. So, if you know my dad, he's a very dedicated individual, and he's very, very dedicated to winning. And we learned that the hard way in, I think it was 2004, the Green Bay Packers were playing the Minnesota Vikings in Lambeau Field in the playoffs. And we were getting ready for pregame. It was about 11 a.m. And my dad came walking downstairs with a purple sweatshirt on. And this is a true story. Purple sweatshirt on. It was a New Berlin Eisenhower sweatshirt. And he said, you know, I had my red, white jersey on. I started, what are you doing? He was cheering for the Vikings so that the Fox station would not get a Packers playoff game that night. It almost broke apart the family. It's the first time I've seen my dad in 7 years.
We had fun this year, did we?
Yeah. He's back on the bandwagon. Now I live in Minnesota, so. You know, I remember the first time, one of the first memories I have of Channel 12 is, I think I was 7, and my mom told us, hey, you know, Dad got promoted. I said, oh, okay. I'm hungry, what? I don't care. I said, well, what does that mean, Mom? And she said, well, it means he's the boss now. You know? So I think like a week later we came to the station to meet, I think it was Mr. Ritchie was the person at the time. And I'm walking in the hallway, and my dad was doing something else. I was with my mom, and Jerry Taft was walking the other way. I stop and go, hey Jerry, my dad's your boss. That did not go over well. Like I said, my dad's a big football fan, and so being in this industry, I work at CBS in Minnesota, and I've been there for 4 years, and I've already seen 3 general sales managers and 4 local sales managers. And so this industry is a very difficult industry to hold a position like that for 19 years, you know, much less 5 years. And so when I think of my dad in this position for this many years, it reminds me of watching like a Packers-Bears game in like 2006, when they'd show how many starting quarterbacks the Packers have had, and then how many starting quarterbacks the Bears have had, and it's like 17. And I think about the Milwaukee market, and I think of, you know, my dad at WISN TV, and then you go every other TV station, radio station, magazine, the sales managers, I mean, Dan Jarris is sitting down there somewhere. I mean, there's this people go, you know? And so, if my dad's anything like Brett Favre, he's probably going to end up at a New York station next year. And he'll probably be at WTMJ in 2 years, so watch out. I just wanted to end by saying, 1, I'm speaking last because I'm my dad's favorite. And 2, the reason I'm his favorite is because I was the one son, the prodigal son that chose to go into the industry and follow my dad. And what that's allowed me to do was go from being a college student who said, God, I wish my dad would have bought me a really nice car when I was in high school, what was he thinking, to really understanding him as a professional and what he does, and knowing how difficult this industry is. We talk on a weekly basis about what's going on in the market, and it's something that I've cherished and I know will continue. And so, Dad, I don't think any one of us in this room doubts your future success. And we wish you well, and thank you for everything you've done for everybody in this room.